Welcome back, everyone. This is IBA all day here, and we're back with another Kingdom Hearts 2 Final Mix 80% beginner video. And today we are covering Beast Castle, or BC for short. In today's video, we're going to continue on with the routing for 80% beginner or 2FM. And the next world that we visit after we are sucked back to Hollow Bastion is Beast Castle. And the reason for this is by now, our level is at a suitable point to where we can perform a lot of the strats that are needed to quickly get through this world. So at the very beginning, we're dealt with a Room of Shadows, and instead of just continuing to attack shadows relentlessly and everything, we're just going to quickly pop into a Trinity. So when you come into this world, your menu will be starting off with Drive at the bottom. You're just going to want to simply quick, as soon as it animates saying that you're in the fight, before your menu even pops up down on the bottom left hand corner of your screen, you can just simply tap left on your direction pad and menu down to limit and go into Trinity. Now for this Trinity, you're just going to do Ultima and do the finisher from there, and that will end the fight.
Let's go!
And then a little quick trick is you can just quickly menu back over to Drive, that way you've got it to immediately go into
Give
Valor.
me strength!
So again, we're using Valor for quick movement. As you can see, my XP is 23 away from level 14. The important thing to note with this next fight, called Thresholder, is you don't... There's two ways you can do this fight. Wolves are perfectly fine. Level 14 is much faster, but it's riskier, because you have to whiff the hit. However, if you are level 13, you just need to do 3 full hits in Valor and then do your finisher. One important thing to note is you are going to want to be super close. You're going to want to be pretty much on top of the little ghost ball that pops out from Thresholder in order to get a 1 cycle. In the event you don't get a 1 cycle, you can still manage to maintain your Valor form, but you must act quickly. If the Thresholder boss goes to the left, after he's popped out, there's a chance that you'll get stuck on the boxes and you won't be able to make it back in time to deal enough damage to re-release the little ghost. If he goes off to the right, however, you have a strong chance of getting back to the Thresholder and being able to deal enough damage to re-release and go for the kill and maintain Valor. However, the end goal is you want to be able to do a 1 cycle, and if the fight does get screwed up, again, I will have videos in my other playlist showcasing the actual ways of doing these fights.
Let's go!
Again, these are mostly just for... Excuse me. Again, these tutorials are mostly meant to be a guiding point as to what to actually expect for the fight and how to perform them. Otherwise, there will be videos in a separate playlist showcasing every encounter done to the best of the ability that can be done. So here we're going to go straight into it. We're going to target lock, square, and mash X until we do the finisher. Then you're going to release. And then see which way he goes once you want. It might be 4. I think that's why I've been doing not enough. So you're going to want to do a quick press of 4, X, and then do your finisher with square. Typically he will be pressed up enough to where you can 1 cycle him like I did there, And then this chest here is an AP boost. Now, don't want to dilly-dally too long because depending on how you end the fight, you're going to want to get up to Cogsworth here so that you can proceed into the next portion, maintaining your Valor. Because when you get here, it's just Sora, and as you can see, I'm back to base form Sora, and I have max drive. In the event that you do not one cycle and or you run out of Valor form, your backup option should always be to pop a drive recovery.
I think this will do the trick.
A drive recovery, doing this world in a run without Valor is a huge time loss. Granted, Timeless River will be quicker, it's just this world is extremely slow otherwise without Valor. Both movement-wise, and you're also missing out on hits. So once done with that, we're now going to proceed into being in Valor form, and we're going to make our way to Beast. Got an AP boost there. Now something to note. Depending on your XP situation, something I like to do, and I don't typically do it there because I don't like the positioning of that first gargoyle because it means I gotta backtrack. If the gargoyle spawns, sorry, let me rephrase that. There will be a gargoyle that spawns in either of those two spots. If he doesn't spawn in the back one, he's gonna be guaranteed to spawn in the front one. To the other side of the AP boost chest. I say this for a good reason. Depending on your XP situation, if you get the one in the front, I like to go for that one as well because it's extra money and it's going to be forward momentum towards the next area. But in this case, I'm going to collect the money here just because you want to make sure you got enough money. And your other option is this gargoyle here and the back. And again, collect the money. If you haven't hit level 14, there's a couple more bats along the way that you can use to try and get there. Otherwise, you don't want to necessarily mess around with too many more gargoyles. And okay, apparently my headset died, so I'm not sure where it cut off. But so an important thing to note is, I'm pretty sure it cut off like when I got to here. But the important thing to note is you can do a little bit of extra XP grinding, up to a certain extent. Like if you're super far off in XP, you want to make sure to get to level 14 if you can, but try not to lose Valor if you can help it. If you fear you're going to lose Valor, just proceed to Beast and just try to make up XP elsewhere before you go to the final two bosses. Because again, if you lose Valor here, and you've already used a drive recovery, then the rest of Beast Castle is going to be extremely slow. So, for this fight, it's very simple. You're going to stun them with Cogsworth, and then you're just going to go square, and then try to time your X's. Don't necessarily mash because you have the chance to whiff, but just keep going until you do the finisher. So just kind of like time your X buttons without like actually mashing them. You can mash them, but again, you have the chance of whiffing, which will lose out on damage and hits towards your next Valor level. Again, this fight will only take 1 to like 1.25, 1.5 Valor. So at the most, that's all you need to be able to get through this. Obviously, you're going to want a little bit more so you don't lose it before you can do the RC to finish the fight, but still. So stun him, square, X, until you finish, and then triangle. And then here, you're going to want to mash the triangle because it is a combo.
Compose yourself!
And then that's the end of that. So for this next menu, we're swapping Donald out for Goofy, and that's all you need to do for this menu. We're now going to proceed to warp to Belle's room, because we need to talk to the dresser. And I like to port back to the first room, which is the parlor.
Let's
Go
go.
into Valor and hop up. We're then proceeding to the final two encounters. The final two encounters, and then that will be the end of this world. So for this fight, you're going to want to run backwards, or you're going to want to walk backwards, because if you go forward towards him to try and deal damage, he's going to immediately go into the window. And in order to get a windowless cycle, you're going to want to go backwards. After he pops up out of the ground again, you're just going to do a few hits. Don't do too much, because when he does his chandelier when he goes to do his chandelier attack, you're going to want to make sure that there's not too much damage on him. Otherwise, positioning and everything else will go super crazy, and it's not going to make for a fun time. So here we go. Walk backwards. Again, don't have to do too much. Just a couple hits. So for here, you're going to want to kind of try and position yourself dead center, if you can. That's going to help big time for when you pop him out of the chandelier. So we're going to RC here, quickly turn the screen around, do just 2 hits and a finisher. Square, square.